Hello and welcome to Coffee with Dr. Carla. I'm Dr. Carla. This is Jacquelyn, and we're glad that you're here with us today. And hopefully we're going to talk about some mental health related issues and start to knock down some of the stigma. The one thing that I think is really important to talk about is this idea of not in my backyard. This idea where mental illness or homelessness or whatever that's not considered, I don't know,
relevant everywhere.
I mean, mainstream, I don't even know how to describe it, but people don't want to have to be reminded that there's no area in the world that is privileged enough that there's not something going on where somebody needs help.
Right.
Right. And so I know that I've seen a lot of, oh, we just really want to help. Okay, well, can we do this over here? Not here. No, not here. But we can support you if you do it someplace else. Right. So this idea of not in my backyard.
Yep.
And I know that at the Joy Emporium, obviously, even for the very short amount of time that the non-profit has been officially operating, there's been a huge amount of issues, I guess, exposed or brought to light. And there's trying to get people that neighbors help neighbors and get that whole thing going. So, yeah.
Yeah, so when we were first looking for locations for our community center, we reached out to a lot of the local townships and cities and tried to get a really good feel for who is really engaged, who is really, out helping the community, who is really building their community and bringing in new businesses and bringing in, new upcoming things for their community.
Right.
And you quickly see who's active and who's not. We had some great experiences in Berwyn. They tried to get us to come over there, which we still are considering it because they are so active and trying to bring more and more businesses to help the community over there. Worth is another great town. There were a lot of great towns and there were some not so great towns who basically just kind of gave us the no, like you said, well, we don't need it here, or we don't want to give the impression that we need it here, or we don't know what the neighbors would think about that.
Oh, what will the neighbors think? What a thing. Okay,
right.
yeah. So.
And even to the point that when we talked about, opening up a couple rooms for an overnight shelter, well, we don't want those people hanging around outside or things like that. And it's like, these people are already hanging around outside. They're already camping out in your backyards. They're already camping out in your grocery stores and your forest preserves and sleeping in their cars wherever they can find it.
So why wouldn't you want to give them a designated place where it's safe for them? Right. Yeah.
Get connected with all the resources in one place, get the help all in one stop, and hey, village, feel free to take credit for it because it's in your town. But unfortunately, some towns, again, there's that stigma there of either they don't think they need it or they're afraid it's going to draw those people to their town. And again, working with the Alliance to End Homelessness here in the south suburbs, that was a topic brought up at the last meeting, was the NIMBYs, the not in my backyard people, and how to really educate people on what's really going on. Because when they bring up statistics like, oh, well, they're bringing crime into the area, well, that's been proven wrong.
Right.
They're, the numbers in our area aren't, we don't need it in this area. It's like, well, we're actually getting, a dozen calls a week from families in your town. We have the statistics to show, that your stigmas aren't true in reality, right. And the fears that people have are not true in reality. And I think that's where education is critical, and really engaging in the community and getting that information out and having the one-on-one with the neighbors.
Right.
Because that's the only way to kind of
Talking
break
to
that.
the school board, talking to the Chamber of Commerce, the
And it's work.
elected officials, etc. Yeah.
One organization, I think it was Beds Plus, Beds Plus or Cornerstone, they were having some issues opening a shelter locally here, and they were having some pushback from the neighbors, that were afraid it was going to provide this or bring people here, or there was going to be crime. And after a huge effort, bringing out their volunteers, literally door knocking around the neighborhood, handing out information, bringing in people to really see what they do and see what the facility is like, and meet some of the people that they're helping. This is your grandmother who was just displaced because her taxes went up. This is your sister who lost her job because of downsizing and only had enough savings for another 2 months mortgage.
Right.
These are families who maybe lost a husband recently and that was their sole income. There's a lot of situations that you yourself could probably find yourself in.
It doesn't take a whole lot to end up in that spot, right?
Especially these days with groceries being 3 times what they used to be, taxes being twice what they used to be. More and more we're getting calls from people that are just being priced out of their homes. And it's so unfortunate.
It is. So, when you started, there was a quest for a physical space. And you finally landed in a physical space.
Yes. So we were able to find a 4,000 square foot building in Midlothian, right off 147th and Kildare. There was a church there actually who was looking to lease that space for some time, having some pushback from the village because the building was not up to code. So we've been working with the village there, working with the church to get that building brought up to code so we can move in and bring all of our services there. Otherwise, this would have been another building that would probably have just been demolished because people didn't have the funds or the know-how or the desire to really bring it back to life.
Or even the tenacity to bring it back to life, because I don't know what number we landed on, but I know at one point when I was over there, I think you were interviewing plumber number 10 or something like that.
13.
Yeah.
Around 13 now.
and I remember as I was doing my thing, I'm listening to the stuff being said and I'm like, what? That's just word salad, garbage. Like, you're basically telling us you're not interested in working. Okay, thank you. Why are you wasting our time, right?
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting, like the malarkey that gets said, and then how is it that you need to bring this up to code so that you can provide the service, but nobody really wants to do it wasn't like we were saying, hey, can you do it for free? Right. And yet there was all these kind of weird comments, and I'm like, I don't think he really wants a job. I'm like, why did he come out here?
Yeah,
So, but yeah.
We had a lot of pushback. Either people that stepped up wanting to help us, wanting to be involved, wanting to help us get our doors open,
right,
and then actually showing up and we're clearly there to just collect a paycheck, and we're trying to charge us twice as much as everyone else. We had quite a bit of that. And then we had people that did try to step up and help us, but clearly didn't know what the codes were, what commercial code was. And just gave us the runaround instead of just telling us they didn't know what they were doing, Unfortunately, we did go to the village to get some guidance. We were able to get a little bit, but when it came to putting ADA showers in, which is one of our big needs in the south suburbs here, there are no public showers in all of the southern and southwest suburbs for anybody who's experiencing homelessness, and for numbers being upwards of 30,000 in the Chicagoland area, probably more like 60,000 and more now. That's just crazy to me that there are no showers, bathrooms, laundry facilities open to our homeless.
Right. I know that, I can't remember which one of the organizations, but I remember they had some passes to some of the local workout facilities.
Yep.
And which is great. except that, you know, it was a limited time, like you can only go between this time and this time, so if you can't get there during those times, then you're out of luck. And then, so okay, great, I go and shower. First of all, walking in, everyone knows what's going on, so now you're on like giant spotlight, public display. And great, I got clean, but then I am going to have to go and put my dirty clothes back on.
Yeah.
Right, so like it was it was better than nothing.
Right.
But that second piece of being able to wash your clothes was desperately needed. And given the fact that most facilities can't accommodate that,
Yeah.
right? That's
And
the
we
next best thing, but not quite good enough.
We get calls from these organizations too when they run out of those passes, or these people wind up in a library or somewhere else for the day to just hang out, and they're asking, where can I go get a shower? There's nowhere else for them to go. And like you said, if they are going to a gym, they're walking in, they're on public display, they're not getting connected with other resources that can help them get back on their feet. They're not getting connected with counselors who might be able to help
Right.
them with medication that they very much need, or a nurse practitioner to get them their, you know, diabetic insulin that they might need.
Or even just do a basic checkup.
Right. To just, again, have that extra support system in place so that you're not just getting a shower and out the door. You're actually getting a shower, getting fresh clothes, able to wash the clothes that you have on hand, and get connected with all these other services if you want them. We're here to help.
Right. Yeah.
That's really what we're trying to create, is a good one-stop shop where you can go get connected with everything and hopefully take advantage of as much as there is available. One of the big reasons we called it the Joy Emporium is because I've seen such a disconnect of agencies across the Chicagoland area. There's all these amazing agencies that do incredible work, but they're not working together. When I was working in the downtown and I was serving meals, one of the big things I came across was I would go to a homeless camp and I'd start passing out meals, and I'd wait a little while and I'd see a van pull up and start passing out pizza to the same people, and 20 minutes later another truck would pull up and they'd start passing salads to the same people.
Wow.
And it was like, hey, you guys know there's another shelter across town that's getting nothing right now. Why don't you guys bring it over there?
Maybe we don't have refrigeration here,
Right,
so like we either have to eat it all or
Right, and if the communication was better, those resources, the food, the clothing, the blankets would be getting where they needed to go.
distributed more
And it's the
efficiently.
same here in the south suburbs. You know, there's all these organizations that do all these different things and have all these budgets and resources, and if they worked better together, they could reach a lot more people and solve a lot more problems. So that's really what we're trying to do too, is just network as much as possible. We are, you know, really creating this emporium of partners so that, you know, there might be things that we're great at, but other things that, you know, we fall short on our budget, or
Right.
we fall short on our experience. But we have our partners who are great at it. They have the experts, they have the budget. We can bring them in and we can get that solved for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put a shameless plug in. So, I mean, if there's something that you do well, right, or that you enjoy sharing, and because one of the things we want to do is offer different classes. Like maybe you like to crochet and you want to teach people how to crochet, or whatever. It doesn't even matter. But like if there's something that you enjoy that you want to share, you know, reach out. We're going to be starting this cycle once we get 88 bathrooms and everything ready to go. But you know, so that we can start to do that type of stuff. But also, if you need help, reach out, let us know so we can help you out. So if you got something to share, if you're in need of something, we would greatly appreciate hearing from you all. So remember, you can change your thoughts, discover your potential, and transform your life by focusing on your overall well-being. So until next time, keep working on being the best you possible. Bye.